As Cute as a Mouse, Chapter 2. A miraculous ladybug fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork by Selena Celine on Instagram. You can find a link to the artist in the description box below. Don't forget to go give her a follow and a like if you use that platform. Now then, if you haven't already, go ahead and listen to Chapter 1. You can find a link to it in the description box. And while we're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. Bonus points if you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. If you don't know what to comment, put Adrian hadn't thought this through. Now then, please enjoy As Cute as a Mouse, Chapter 2. Adrian Agreste. Starbucks in hand, Adrian made his way to the Dupang Chang bakery. Okay, well, more like he sat in the back of his car as his bodyguard drove. Still, he was making his way. With Starbucks. As promised. Sorry to the baristas who hate shaking the refreshers because he got 2 of them. Oh, he was so excited to see her. Marinette! His Marinette! It'd been several months since they'd last seen each other, and after this, they were going to get... Oh, no. Did she not go with him when they were done now because he'd already bought and brought her drink? Oof. He really hadn't thought this through, had he? They pulled up to the bakery, and Marinette walked out before he even had the chance to unbuckle. Hey, he said, fighting the door open. I brought some Starler... He lost his balance as he stepped out, extending his sentence. He began, catching himself. I brought some slurp? It was no good. There was no way to salvage this, was there? Marinette stared at him, clearly taken off guard. Well then, she began slowly, it's a good thing I love the slurp. Relief washed like a tidal wave when she took the offering and took a sip without even checking the label. Bless her and her smoothness. If only he could be more like Cat Noir right now and less like his dorky self. Imagine her knowing how much she loved anime and Lady Noir fanfiction. She'd never agree to model with him. The surprises didn't stop there, however. When they'd arrived and got to hair and makeup, the technicians fawned over her. Her hair was, apparently, unbelievably soft, and her lashes naturally curled, and skin so smooth they only used a primer to hold the highlighter and bronzer instead of applying foundation or concealer. Huh. He must have an eye for talent. He hadn't thought about any of that. Adrian just thought she was pretty is all. As time passed, Adrian felt himself growing hot under the collar. She was his friend. She was his friend, and he wanted to talk to her. But these girls talking and talking and talking meant he couldn't get a word in. Getting called to set was actually a relief for once, so he didn't have to sit and stew in juvenile jealousy. But this director was rather ambitious. Sure, Adrian was used to touching models as needed for the photos, but now he was terribly self-conscious of his hands and Marinette. He was used to being paired or partnered with his co-model, not being coupled with them. What would Marinette think? Surely she wasn't going to think of this as some underhanded attempt to get her to sit on his lap, because, well, that's what they were doing right now. She looked terribly cute in his father's designs, and Adrian had to admit he had a talent for fast fashion. But the problem was her arms draped around his neck as she leaned into his shoulder, sitting far more relaxed than she had any right to be in his lap. But he was the professional, so he'd act the part. He returned her relaxed energy, leaning into the shot so well that nearly each one was perfect. The director raved about their energy and marveled that they didn't have to do retakes. Quite frankly, taking into account how many outfits there were, this might did his usual round of thank yous as they cleaned up, making sure to let the makeup. It was natural in a cute way. He'd never seen Marinette as anything but cute, but still, the blush was a nice touch. And finally, he was able to talk to Marinette as she grabbed her bag. "It's been a while, hasn't it?" he said. "Yeah." She nodded. "Yeah, it has." It's incredible how a mere 2 years changed her so much. She seemed emboldened, and even her height changed. She'd grown up a bit. They'd grown up a bit. "I know I already bought some, but, wanna go get another round of Starbucks?" Marinette smiled, giving him relief before her words did. "I'd like that. My treat?" "You don't have to." "I'm getting a pretty good paycheck because of you, Agreste. My treat." Agreste. Huh. She'd never addressed him like that before, but he kinda liked it. "Well then, thank you very much." "We're using your ride, though." He laughed. Of course. Smiling to himself, he followed Marinette out, withholding the skip in his step. This was it. He was reuniting with his friend he hadn't seen in years, and it felt good. It felt good to rekindle his relationship with this girl who was as cute as a mouse. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 3 is on its way. In the meantime, if you've already made it this far, don't forget to not only thumbs up this video, but leave a comment in the comment section. If you don't know what to comment, put "Marinette is as cute as a mouse." I will catch you in the next one. Bye!